Oh,
Hey Robert, what do you have for me?
okay. I was born in South Carolina, and the state motto of South Carolina is "Dum Spiro Spero." While I breathe, I hope. And so I'm never giving up. As long as there are free people, there will be still hope. But anyway, look, this is the problem. I saw the third debate, and I knew then Romney was cooked because all he could do was say, "Me too, me too, me too." He was just like Obama. And this is in foreign policy. This is in resisting the jihad. The State Department, the entire Washington establishment has this entrenched philosophy of appeasement and of denial and obfuscation about the nature and the reality of the jihad threat. But the jihad threat is going to keep hitting us. And reality is either going to dawn or we're going to lose entirely our civilization and our freedom. And so it's going to come down to it. We have to clear this entrenched Washington establishment out. We have to drastically reform or utterly jettison the Republican Party. These people keep running these guys who are soft, pale imitations of Democrats. Romney, McCain, George W., Bob Dole, and they either squeak in and can't do anything and don't do anything decisive to change what needs to be changed, or they lose. And so it's time that we stop freeing them from all accountability and hold them to responsibility for the fact that they do lose, they are losers, they are wrong, and they have to be thrown out.
What level do we start at? Because obviously we can't start at the presidential level. We lose.
Well, we need to start to take back the culture. These people have been working toward this for 40, 50 years and longer. They had a completely worked out strategy to take over the educational institutions, to dominate the media, to dominate the entertainment community, to in every which way ensure that the generation coming up, starting with the 60s and just getting worse ever since, would not have any appreciation of what America is all about, why freedom is important, and not have any interest in defending it. And now here we are. And so we can try to do just what they did, and it will be a very difficult and long process, or, we can just give up and wait for them to come for us.
Was this your subtle way of endorsing I Own the World and our Dog and Pony show of trying to take back pop culture?
I Own the World is one of the most superb, satirical, and pop culture commentary websites out there, and I'm very proud that I have made an appearance on it on occasion, and it is something that every free American should visit multiple times daily.
Well, your check is in the mail, but I'm half serious here. Well, not half, I'm fully serious here. I was very touched to hear you say what is I consider very important, that we have to capture the hearts and minds of people on a more casual level. Not a very. I know education is important. We have to take back the educational system, but we also have to take back pop culture.
Definitely. Look, it's cool to be a Democrat. It's kind of inconceivable to be a Republican and be a popular entertainer. And those who are a small and cowed minority that is either silent or excoriated. And a lot of them are considered to be, crusty old guys. Excuse me, like the late Charlton Heston. There are no young, cool, edgy people who are out there being on the right. And this has been going on for decades now, that it's just not acceptable. I remember watching some old-time TV shows, and I saw the Jack Paar show, the predecessor of Johnny Carson, and he had Richard Nixon on. And he obviously liked Richard Nixon. This was in like 1966, around the time he was running against John Kennedy. And he was very respectful. And Nixon played piano and joked around. It wasn't the stereotype Nixon that we all know and love. And I'm not saying that Nixon was a good guy or any of this kind of nonsense, but the point is, I was surprised that here was a top entertainer on a top TV show being nice to a Republican.
Yeah.
And it was sort of surprising to me. And then I was sort of amazed that I was surprised that there is just no even-handedness in the culture. There is no idea whatsoever that there should be anything but a one-party state with dreary conformity, all this multiculturalism and multiculturalism and diversity, except for diversity of thought. We all have to be in lockstep on that.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for so long, and we are reaping the fruits of it. And so what you do is very important, and I hope that you grow 10,000 times bigger.
Well, yeah, it's not. We're not the only ones. I'm going through my own. I'm wrapped in my own head here, wondering how do we move forward. But you've given me a little window of hope here.
And look, I remember. I have a son in college right now, and I shouldn't say that because I never talk about my family publicly. But what the hell? And he told me last night that everybody there at his college was all Obama, Obama, Obama. And I remembered that when Ronald Reagan was elected in 1980, and I was in college, that everybody thought Carter was going to win. Everybody supported Carter for a second term, and the place was like a bomb had hit. It was a funereal atmosphere. It was shell shock and post-war in a losing country after Reagan won. And so that's what, 32 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just the same. In other words, everybody in the university, everyone, is on the left. And this is all our children go through these universities. And then we're surprised when we can't elect any candidates who buck this way of thinking.
Yeah.
And that's much more than just education reform or something like that. I remember a few years back, and I was speaking for the Young Americans Foundation in Washington at their conference, and this guy who had, I think he was with YAF, and he said, we want to get conservative courses. We want to get courses on conservative thinkers into the colleges. And he thought that was going to fix the problem. That's not going to fix the problem. It's an entire culture. It's an entire universe it's an entire way of thinking. And it's not going to be solved by some sort of affirmative action program that brings in a couple of courses besides the queer theory and the Marx hagiography and everything else. There has to be from the ground up, just like they did it.
Yeah.
A long-term and thorough, indefatigable advance of freedom. Now, do we have the people? Do we have the strategy? Do we have the energy? Do we have the power? I don't know, but I know that I can do my bit where I am. You can do your bit where you are, and that's all I can say. The left is remarkably unified, and it has a single unified purpose, and they always hang together. Meanwhile, on the right, everybody can't shun each other fast enough, and so it's going to be a difficult thing. But
well, thank you for this. I think I'm going to call.
Anyway.
I think I'm going to call my my travel agent and cancel my tickets to Costa Rica based on what you've said to me.
Funny you say Costa Rica. That's just where I was thinking about going.
Well, I'll save the guest bedroom for you.
Thanks, boss.
Okay.
Great.
Thank you, Robert.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.